Noam Chomsky. Born in Philadelphia on December 7, 1928, Noam Chomsky was an intellectual prodigy who went on to earn a PhD in linguistics at the University of Pennsylvania. Since 1955, he has been a professor at MIT and has produced groundbreaking controversial theories on human linguistic capacity. Based on Chomsky's theory, language acquisition, which claims that children are born with an inherited ability to learn any human language, I am able to build up core concepts with educational manipulatives that concern language-based learning disabilities. The language-based learning disabilities are problems with age-appropriate reading, spelling, and writing. This disorder is not about how smart a person is. Most people diagnosed with learning disabilities have average to superior intelligence. A speech-language pathologist (SLP) is part of a team consisting of the parents, caregivers, and educational professionals such as teachers, special educators, and psychologists. The SLP will evaluate spoken, speaking and listening, written, reading and writing, language for children who have been identified by their teachers and parents as having difficulty. Then the student is taught to apply newly learned language strategies to classroom activities and assignments. To assist the child best, the SLP may work side by side with the child in his or her classroom. The first strategy I would use in my classroom is pair work, group work. How? By making a list of pairs of names before the lesson starts or while the students are coming in and just tell them when the time comes. Gianni, you work with Paola. Chiara, you're with Stefan at this time. If there are an odd number of students, I would make a group of 3 but break them up later in the lesson and put them into pairs with someone else so they get more chance to speak. I would put them in small groups to start with if the activity allows. I would even make the activity a competition in small teams if the activity allows, seeing which team gets most answers right and use the board or a piece of paper for keeping score. Why pair work and group work? It's good for the students to speak to each other and practice their speech. It's good for the students to work with another student sometimes rather than alone. Point 2. Reading aloud. How? I would pick a student, ask him or her to read the instructions for activity 1, 2, 3, or whatever. Marco, please read the instructions for activity 2 for us. I would pick a different student each time. Why? It saves me doing it. I can check pronunciation. If they all read the instructions silently, they will all finish at different times. If they listen to someone reading the instructions out loud, they all finish at the same time. Point 3. Checking understanding. How? Ask my students, is that clear? If it's clear, fine. If anyone says no, can you explain that? Can you explain again? I would ask one of the other students to explain it. If nobody understands it, we will then go through an example step by step together. They should get it then. Why? It is important to check that the students have understood because they're unlikely to tell you if they haven't. They will simply bumble through the exercise doing it wrong, probably aware they're doing it wrong and losing confidence. Questions like, is that clear? Shift the blame to quality of the instructions instead. Neutral ground, much nicer. Point 4. Brainstorming. How? I would ask the students to think of all the words they know connected with the topic. Tell the students to write them on a piece of paper. Give them a couple of minutes to do so. Put them in a pair or small groups to compare their vocabulary. Why? If students have already activated their vocabulary related to the topic, they will not be searching for words so much when they start the speaking activities. This should enable them to be more fluent.
Created using Powtoon.